strict provisions of the city ordinance. In matters of this type, the decision of the board is final. In respect, it does not go to the mayor or the city council for any further action. If you disagree with our decision, you do have recourse in a court of record. We also hear petitions for variations of land use. In matters of this type, we act as an advisory committee to the mayor and city council, making a recommendation either for or against it. The final decision on land use is made by the mayor and the city council. Secretary, call the roll, please.
Ms. Darling? Here. Mr. Ferguson?
Here.
Mr. Graham?
Here.
Ms. Powers? Mr. Riggs?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here.
Mr. Hennessy?
I am here. Well, we have a very short meeting, so everybody can get home for the holidays. Let's see, petition, Albert Kopinski present. Petition 2017-64.
Mr. Chair, petition number 2017-64. Petition 2017-64, the applicant is Albert Kopinski, who is also the owner with Joliet Kopinski. The location is 2409 West Jefferson Street. This is a request for a special use permit to allow an auto accessories installation, customization, and a used car facility. This is in an I-1 light industrial zoning district, and this request must be considered by the City Council following the recommendation of the ZBA. Under site-specific information, the property in question is approximately 0.64 acres in size. It is 295 feet deep and 120 feet wide along Jefferson Street and 80 feet wide along the rear property line. The property includes a 5,270 square foot brick and metal building. The building has been used for automotive parts sales since the late 1970s. It was most recently CarQuest Auto Parts. And again, the property is zoned I-1 light industrial. The case was filed on November 15th of 2017. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, to the north is light I-1 zoning, light industrial. To the south is B3 general business, used for retail. To the east is I-1 light industrial, used for industrial. And to the west is B3 general business, used for retail. Applicable regulations are as noted in the staff report. Under discussion, the City of Joliet zoning ordinance states that an establishment for the display, sale, and minor repair of automotive vehicles, which is a B3 general business use, is allowed in the I-1 zone light industrial zoning district as a special use. Therefore, the petitioner is requesting approval of a special use permit to operate an auto accessories installation, customization, and used car sale facility. The petitioner seeks to move his business, Crusader Customs, from its current location at 1020 West Jefferson Street to this site. The existing 5,270 square foot building has been used again for automotive parts sales since the late 1970s and was most recently the CarQuest Auto Parts. The property is in an existing light industrial and general business area of the city. Conceptual floor plans and site plans for this proposed business were submitted with the petition. The front of the building will be the showroom, and the rear will be for custom installs and for the sale of used vehicles that feature new custom installs. The petitioner plans to display a vehicle that features custom work on the existing concrete area in front of the building. However, all other vehicles that the petitioner plans to sell will be stored indoors. The Department of Public Works and Department of Public Utilities had no concerns with the plans to reuse the building and site. The hours of operation would be Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. There will be up to 4 employees. The petitioner anticipates up to 5 visitors at a time. The property includes adequate off-street parking to accommodate the proposed use. There are 12 existing spaces located along the east side of the building and 2 spaces fronting Jefferson Street toward the east property line. The eastern portion of the lot also includes a common parking and access easement for lots 1 and 2 and an 8-foot access easement along the eastern property line to allow access to the rear of the subject parcel as well as the adjacent lots. The property includes substantial rear acreage for future parking. This rear acreage currently consists of a gravel lot, which the petitioner shall pave as a condition of approval. If the zoning board desires to approve the special use permit, the following conditions would be included. And I'm gonna switch gears and add a little bit of information that was provided in the addendum that you received, because the conditions were changed slightly. Planning staff, under the addendum, did receive updated information that the applicant would like the special use permit approval to also include outdoor used car sales for customized used cars. The outdoor sales area would be located on the rear lot of the property. The applicant anticipates selling 5 to 7 cars in this rear lot area. And in terms of conditions that are suggested, if the zoning board desires to approve the special use permit, the following conditions would be included. 1, the rear portion of the lot shall be paved. 2, the western and south or front yard shall be seal coated. 3, the eastern side yards shall be seal coated and restriped to designate parking stalls. 4, all outdoor car sales shall take place on the rear lot, with the exception that one vehicle may be displayed on the existing paved area in front of the building, paved concrete area. All other temporary or long-term outdoor storage of vehicles shall be prohibited. And 5, that the special use permit granted shall herein terminate and lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained not later than 180 days of the effective date of the ordinance. And the rest of the language is customary and standard. I won't read that into the record. Condition number 6, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and possible revocation of the special use permit. And 7, that a business license shall be obtained. And that concludes staff's report.
Thank you. I swear you in, sir. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth under penalty of law?
Yep.
Name and address.
Albert Kapinski, 1284 Durham.
Speak up, Stu. We have to record.
Al Kapinski, 1284 Durham Lane, Lamont, Illinois.
Okay, any comments you'd like to make?
No.
Did you own the property where you were at 1020?
Yes, 1020 West Jefferson.
What are you going to be doing?
I'm going to probably lease out that property.
Just going to rent that out?
Yeah, rent it out, yeah.
And you did purchase the property at 2409?
Yes.
Okay, and you,
And
unfortunately, you purchased that without guaranteeing the zoning that you requested, right?
Yes.
You didn't make that a condition of the purchase?
No. They're in a hurry to sell, and I was trying to get in there before, because CarQuest was moving out of there.
Okay, so basically what, you're gonna be doing pretty much the same thing you were doing at the other location,
Yes.
except that,
I don't do any installs over there at that place before I try to do it in the back of the building to build a shop, a couple in the summer.
okay,
And it
was your
denied.
intention to only sell cars that you customized at
Yes.
that time?
So customized cars if I put wheels and
What do
accessories.
what do you do, go out and buy a car and then customize it and then put it up for sale, is that?
Yes, yeah, so it's not gonna be like a regular dealership, so it's gonna have like a Jeep or something, and I'm gonna put bigger tires
So
on
it
there.
was only cars that you customized?
Customized, yes.
And what do you consider customizing? I mean, you could put on a new chrome tailpipe muffler and that would be customization. How much detail do you do?
Rims, tires, accessories, grills, taillights, headlights, lifts on the vehicles.
So you do any actual body work?
Body work, no.
No body work. And all that was to be done inside the building,
Yes,
with no outside storage.
yes.
And then I see we have an addendum now for a used car lot.
Yes.
What
I've been
brought
selling
that
cars
on?
before too, not at that particular location, I was at 222 Ruby Street, and I was there for 14 years, and I had a used car lot there, so that's why I want to sell with the
You
cars.
didn't have that in your original petition, though.
On the,
What made you decide to add that in?
I just, because there was about the dealership about that, and I was
Because
there.
that's a relatively small lot and all, they would all have to be done behind the building where you wouldn't have any access or visibility
Yeah,
from the street. Because I think you're
I mean, most
requesting
of them
only
probably
one car to
outdo-
be displayed in front.
yeah,
Which
I
would
would
be
do
a
internet
model
sales,
of the work you've done on the cars.
yes, and I would do internet sales too on there too.
Well, we have a plethora of used car lots out there, and that's sort of in that St. Joe's area where they're,
I do work for,
corridor for St. Joe's is, you know, upscaling and everything.
I also do work for Darcy's and a couple of the
I
dealers.
saw that you had him in there as a reference.
Yeah.
Is that just a contract work you do, or are you actually an employee?
No, I do contract work for them, so whenever they have one of their Jeeps or trucks,
Yeah, I have no problem with, you know, the work you're gonna be doing for, the custom work and, the installation and the sales. I've just got, some reservations about the used car lot that you're now asking for. I'm not sure that's the right location for it, or that the lot is big enough. But I'll leave that decision up to, the board. Does the board have any questions or comments?
Will you be displaying the rims like you are at your current business?
yes, at 1020 in West Jefferson.
So the windows will be covered with the rims
Yes,
in the same like manner?
yes.
How many cars do you plan to have on that lot?
To sell or to customers? Or-
Well, what you gonna sell them, right?
Yeah, like 5 to 7 cars.
Why 5 to 7?
Because if it grows bigger, then I'll have more on there, but right now I'm just asking for 5 to 7 cars.
Any other comments? Is there anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? No comments from the audience? Chair is going to close the discussion to the floor and ask the board for some discussion and perhaps a motion. I stated my position on this. I have no problem with what he wants to do, what he's been doing, but I have some reservations about the used car sales and back. Perhaps
I
pass
do
this today
as
and
well.
then in a few years, if he needs it.
I do as well. I just, you know, we just got that information now, and it kind of changes
The whole
the perspective of what we're asking about. Is it within our purview to vote on the first thing without the addendum and hold that
You can
addendum
move,
off
you can
for
move to pass it as originally requested, with all the work being done inside and no, just the one car out in front.
and then that's something that,
And that,
after a
and
period
just
of time,
not include the used cars. If
after a
that's
period of time,
intention.
come back and we'll
You can always come back in, yeah, later on.
Can I say something too? Because I mean, it is zoned industrial there. I mean, if I wanted to, I could probably, I know I wouldn't, but open up a junkyard and sell junk cars out of there. I'm not
The
saying.
question there was whether that would be approved or not
Yeah.
by the council as well as us.
Well,
I'd personally like to just see the first report voted on without the addendum. So I guess my motion would be for us to approve the initial request, but at this time, not the used car lot.
Well, if I could just clarify too, just to make sure the vote is, everybody's on the same page. The initial petition was for a special use permit for the auto accessories installation and customizing, as well as a used car facility, but the used cars were going to be
Cars
indoors.
that he had
So
worked
that-
on and customized, that's what he stated.
Right, so the
All the work
addendum,
was to be done inside.
right, and so the addendum indicates the used cars would also be displayed outdoor.
Cars that he's customized, not just used cars that he's just got there for sale.
Well,
That was the intention, I think, of
Yeah.
Mr. Ferguson.
so is the concern against used cars in general or just outdoor used cars?
Used cars sales in general,
In general.
except for customized cars that he's worked on.
So you would need to modify if the inclination is to not allow the used cars for general used cars, you could make the condition that they only be used cars that he has customized.
Yeah,
That would be fine.
you got a problem?
No, we're agreeing that that could be a condition if you wanted to go that route.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve petition 2017-64 as stated with the modifications. Want to poll the board?
Mr. Ferguson,
Aye.
Mr. Graham,
Aye.
Mr. Riggs,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson,
Aye.
Ms. Darley,
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy.
Aye.
So the record will reflect an 8th condition added to the addendum that used car sales shall be limited to used cars that are customized by the petitioner.
Right, that'll go to the city council for final discussion. Okay, petition 2017-65, First Midwest Bank.
Petition number 2017-65. The applicant is First Midwest Bank. The applicant is the tenant of the building. The owner of the building is Bays Financial Building, LLC. Location is 212 North Chicago Street, and the request is a variation for sign size and height. The applicant is requesting a variation on maximum size and height for a wall sign for First Midwest Bank located at 212 North Chicago Street in the city's downtown. The zoning board makes the final decision for this type of request. The lot is 61 feet by 145 feet or 8,845 square feet. It contains a 3-story commercial building with an attached drive-through for the bank on the adjacent parcel to the north. The property is zoned B2 Central Business District, and the petition was filed on November 17th of 2017. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character in all directions is commercial zone B2. Applicable regulations are the sign section of the zoning ordinance. Under discussion, the requested variation for signage will allow First Midwest Bank to install an additional sign that exceeds the total maximum area allowed of 50 square feet and the maximum allowed height of 20 feet for the B2 zoning district. The new wall sign will be a 986 square feet textured surface vinyl film applied to the north side of the building. The height of the proposed sign will be 45 feet, 9.5 inches. The sign will promote local community organizations sponsored by First Midwest Bank, and there is an attached graphic in your packet. The sign graphic will be periodically changed out to promote different organizations, and a new building permit will be required for every sign change. First Midwest Bank has an existing 54 square foot monument sign at the northwest corner of the parking lot and a 55 square foot wall sign on the main or west side of the building. And that concludes staff's report.
Thank you. I swear in. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth under penalty of law?
I do.
You state your name and address.
Good afternoon. My name is Gary Potts. I am the owner of Professional Permits with offices at 58171 Dragonfly Court in Osceola, Indiana. I'm here today representing First Midwest Bank, Bays Financial Building, LLC, and MLE Merchandising and Sign Solutions, Incorporated. First Midwest Bank wishes to install a wall graphic sign on the exterior wall of their branch at 212 North Chicago Street. The objective of this sign is to highlight local organizations with which First Midwest Bank is a proud sponsor. The current zoning ordinance does not allow a sign of this size, and we are requesting relief to allow such signage. The current square footage allowances do not allow for this signage, thus limiting visibility of the business to southbound motorists traveling Chicago Street. The proposed variance will highlight local organizations. This unique community outreach signage exceeds allowable square footage for overall building signage, thus mandating the variance. The variance would have significant positive impact on the essential character of the general area. The granting of this variance would increase visibility for local organizations of which First Midwest is a sponsor. First Midwest Bank is an excellent corporate citizen and prides itself on working with local organizations to make the community a better place to live and work. This proposal does have staff support, and we thank you for the time that you've taken to review this package. I'm happy to answer any questions you have at this time.
Yeah, how do you apply that on there? What is the material?
That is a vinyl graphic, and
It is like a film?
it's just a film, and it adheres there, and the duration, they're expecting to change it out probably annually with a new.
So what, the shelf life is only about a year?
The shelf life on it is longer than that, but they will probably put a different sign package up there for another organization.
How do you project the different images on there?
That's just printed on the vinyl.
Oh, so that would be like a permanent sign once it's up?
That is correct.
It wouldn't be changing?
Oh, no, it's a permanent static sign. and then they would take it down usually about once a year and put up a new
So
sign.
it'd just be one ad up there for the whole year?
That is correct.
Oh, okay, because I thought it'd be something that would be changing.
No, it's not
periodically,
electronic,
like
it
a
does not
film screen or
change
something.
message at all, it's just a static vinyl.
Have you got these at other locations anywhere?
I am not aware if they do or not.
So this is an initial project, huh? Ah, okay.
Illumination won't be an issue then, will it?
No, it's not gonna illuminate at all. They're not planning on illuminating it, they'll just use the ambient lighting and then just traffic from the road at night.
What would be the difference of this being a billboard versus a vinyl sign on the building?
Well, usually billboards, are more of an off-premise location. Something centered on the road just for traffic. It's where it has some similarities, but the, difference here is that it's paid for and sponsored by First Midwest Bank, who is the tenant in the building.
But this
So it
would be on a
it wouldn't
billboard
be like,
background,
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
it?
something up there for Jim's Repair Shop or anything like that. It's just gonna be for nonprofit organizations that they partner with.
So there won't be any advertising involved, it'll just be projects that the bank is sponsoring.
Correct.
This is a public service.
Yes, sir.
Admirable.
Mr.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chair, just to clarify for the record, the staff recommendation in the report is actually just neutral. But we do support, and we do support the bank and the efforts that they're making with community outreach and so forth. But I just wanted to clarify in the record when you said with staff report, that we're neutral, we're remaining neutral in terms of a variation. It's a significant variation from 50 square feet to 900 and some square feet. But we put it out there. I just want to clarify the record on that.
Well, I don't owe the bank any money, so I'm clear to vote. As opposed to some national figures I won't mention. Anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Chair closes petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a motion.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Ms. Darby?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
A motion would be in order to approve the minutes of the last meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those in favor of adjournment, so signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.